So my name is Alke Gröppel-Wegener, and this session is about collaboration in HE. I think mainly this is about having the time to network with people, because very often we don't get the chance to actually talk to people. It was inspired by a book that I contributed to on collaboration in HE, so we're also doing like a mini book launch as part of this. And so we're also going to feature some projects that so it's a co-created event. So, people bring and people take out what they kind of bring. And so I don't quite know what's going to happen apart from hopefully loads of people are talking, which is already happening, which is brilliant, and having some fun and learning about each other's projects or each other's recommendations, and maybe kind of getting out of a silo a little bit. So we have a silo alarm somewhere. I don't know whether it's loud enough because already it's quite loud in here, but we'll see what happens.
Yes, so during the pandemic, myself, Eleanor and Alke were trying to find a way to include and collaborate with students and staff to do some kind of introduction to the library, and obviously without the ability to go physically into the library, we came up with the idea to a virtual escape room, which obviously during the process of making we did that all virtually as well because of the pandemic. So we created our escape room and then decided to write that up, which eventually became the chapter that's in the book. Encouraging people to actually collaborate across the different teams within a university particularly. It can be in a very silo-based kind of role. You end up working just with the team that you're in, but actually when you work beyond that team and you go beyond the different organisations within a big organisation, I think it's really important and it can produce some really amazing things. So I think that's what I'd say would be really good to take from today.
The reason I've come is because I really enjoy learning about new, creative and tactile ways of thinking about teaching and learning, and how can we apply that inside the classroom, outside the classroom, and in also professional practice experiences as well. I find it really interesting, great opportunity to network with people, really wonderful way of being able to explore different people's ideas and some of the projects they've been working on, the resources they've created, and using the board game approach, it really enables you to sort of be a bit more confident in approaching different people, and again using it and applying this as a more creative and tactile way of getting networking and learning.
Really interesting. It's been enjoyable meeting people from a very different university from the one that I work at, and to find out how they work and the new working environment and the challenges have been interesting to read as well. It's been good.
So I understand you've contributed to the book.
Yes, yeah.
So have you found that process of kind of getting your work?
I'd never done it before, so I was actually quite nervous about doing it to start with, but it was really good to work with other colleagues. And as we developed our ideas and we got other colleagues to help us, and then also the process of submitting the work and getting it back and getting feedback back and editing it and changing it, I learned a lot from it. It was really good. The section we wrote was about collaborating with partners in doctoral training partnerships. So, but all of the three authors, we all work in a doctoral training partnership which is funded by a research council, and we work both with universities and with partners in industry, and so we collaborate on so many different levels, and that's what we wrote about in the chapter.
How was it writing your book?
It was a really interesting experience actually. As a professional services member of staff, it's my first opportunity to contribute to kind of an academic publication like this, so it was a real learning experience. It was really, really nice to work with two colleagues and collaborate to pull together our experiences in doctoral training to represent the value of that as an area of collaboration in the sector. And yeah, it was really interesting to see the nuts and bolts of what goes into pulling the final versions together and all the iterations and feedback, etc. But yeah, definite positive experience overall. So the section is about doctoral training partnerships. So it's focusing on UKRI, so that's UK Research and Innovation funded cohort-based postgraduate research programmes, which tend to operate across multiple institutions, and we focus on 4 different iterations of doctoral training partnerships, which are all led or run in partnership with the University of Nottingham across lots of different universities, mostly in the Midlands, but across the country as well. And we're really talking about the benefits of that multi-institutional approach to delivering PhD training, and the benefit of working across non-HEI partners to deliver that training and enhance that training as well. Today's been great. It's been really nice. It's really nice to come to a different university and see such an interesting collaborative space to work in as a starting point, and just touching on a topic that it really cuts across so many different areas of work. So the people I've been speaking today, you know, my background's in postgraduate research specifically, but other people are working in libraries, they're working in teaching and learning spaces, and yet the theme of collaboration is one which we can all talk about and understand each other on, even though maybe our acronyms and our vernacular we're using in our areas are maybe quite distinct. It's something we can really come together and understand, so it's been really great. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the session today. I've met some people that I would not have met otherwise and had really productive, engaging conversations, and I've just really enjoyed the event overall and would totally recommend it.
Is there anything you think you'll be taking away from this?
Definitely the being able to, I've been wanting to do and apply kind of a board game based approach within teaching and learning, and so actually having the experience of doing it and engaging with it as a participant enables me to think about how I could then apply it and develop it and apply it with my learners as well moving forwards. So yeah, definitely the board game approach, but also obviously some of the ideas and the collaborations that have been coming out. Great to be able to find people that have already developed and tried and tested and what their outcomes have been that I can then sort of harness and sort of continue those conversations outside of the workshop as well.
I've networked, I've got some new ideas, I'm going to hopefully try and corral people into working with me on future projects. So yeah, I'm going to take a lot of information and ideas away with me.
Well, I suppose from our contribution, we tend to spend a lot of our lives as people working in the graduate school space saying, remember the postgraduate researchers. So I think maybe if people can see that there's valuable stuff emerging in the postgraduate research space that can be learnt from in other spaces as well, that would be a real plus for us, because we spend a lot of our time reflecting on things happening in other areas and pulling in potentially in undergraduate spaces, for example, and trying to learn from that and pull it into PGR. So if the same could happen in reverse as a result of some of what we've shared today, that would be great.
It's been really impactful. I like game-based and play-based learning, so the workshop taking the premise of a board game is really, really positive for me to be able to see someone else doing, joining somebody else's rather than being the facilitator of that's quite nice. But you've just caught me at the moment learning about Rachel Bolton-King and teams, remote forensic CSI, and it's not just that, there's a whole load of us who have collaborated to create these game board tiles where we can learn about some fantastic stuff which is going on. So as much as the concept being a game-based approach to a workshop is amazing in itself, the stuff which has been able to be shared as an approach to building this game, sharing challenges, sharing projects, sharing stuff that we kind of want to learn more about, is just really useful. It's some of the best CPD I think I've had this academic year.